back and said, "You don't know what that has been." I'm going to talk for a few minutes about The Magicians, for those who haven't read it, and may possibly be edifying for those who have already read it. And then I'm going to read something short, which is not from The Magicians, but is tangentially related to Magicians, which is really vague, but you'll understand what I mean when you hear it. And then I'd love to have a little bit of Q&A. That's always, for me, the best part of the evening. For some paradoxical, bizarre reason, when I attempt to say out loud in front of people something I've prepared in advance, it always comes out completely incoherent. I'm much better off the cuff when I'm only partially incoherent. So, by way of introduction, The Magicians is a novel that comes out of my love of young adult fantasy, which is something I never really grew out of. When I was a kid, I was very into Narnia, especially. And then, Narnia led naturally to Tolkien, T.H. White, Caffrey, Chris Anthony, Fritz Lieber, and on and on. You can probably fill in the rest of the terms in that series yourself. And then when I grew up, I never really grew out of fantasy, which happens to some people. And about 6 years ago, I guess, I began thinking about the stories, the kind of stories that young adult fantasy tells, and I realized I wanted to write one, but I didn't want to write one. I wanted to write a young adult fantasy not for young adults. I wanted to write a story like that, or see if it was possible to write a story like that, that had in it some of the stuff that you don't find in most young adult fantasy. If I could tell a story about somebody who is sort of discovering their own power, finds their way into a secret world that other people don't know about. I wondered if it was possible to tell that story, tell it, in the adult world, with all the sort of complex truths that we know and hate about life in the grown-up world. And this is what happened when